Club Penguin was meant to be safe, a snowy digital playground where no one got hurt, where puffles bounced, penguins waddled, and the worst thing you could do was get banned for saying stupid. But beneath the surface of this frozen world, something darker was always lurking. As the years passed, and especially after Disney shut it down, rumors, myths, and twisted truths began bubbling to the surface. Some stories were made up, others were exaggerated, but a few were very real. I came across a Club Penguin Iceberg on Reddit, one packed with strange, unsettling entries. But instead of covering everything, I'm peeling it apart and rebuilding it myself, focusing only on the eerie mysteries. Layer by layer, we'll descend from harmless curiosities to the disturbing truths buried deep beneath the snow. This is the disturbing Club Penguin Iceberg. Welcome to Layer 1, the surface. Least disturbing. Deleted rooms. Throughout Club Penguin's lifespan, countless rooms were added, removed, or never made it past testing. Fan archives and data mines revealed eerie traces of spaces that never saw the light of day, like the Fog Forest, the Secret Shack, and the abandoned newsroom. These locations were sometimes only visible through raw SFW files or through a single page in the awesome official guide to Club Penguin. They were likely scrapped during development, but their half-existence feels more like a ghost town than a technical oversight. Something about knowing these places almost existed yet never did feels wrong, like looking through a window that was never meant to be open. The Welcome Room. The Welcome Center, also known briefly as the Hub, was intended to be a new player introduction zone. It was designed with younger players in mind, a colorful, friendly area complete with a fountain, gazebo, tour guide station, and a billboard where players could promote igloo parties. It appeared in the official Club Penguin guidebook in 2009 with a simple label, "Coming Soon." But it never came. The developers, reportedly too busy with other projects, shelved it. Forgotten by most, remembered by few. Glitches. Club Penguin was no stranger to bugs, but some of them were downright unsettling. Penguins walking on walls, floating in midair, skating with no board, or even turning completely invisible. While most glitches were harmless and even fun, some created an eerie vibe, like being watched or sharing the server with something that wasn't supposed to be there. It's strange to consider. Glitches are, by definition, errors, but in Club Penguin, they sometimes felt like ghosts. Literally. The Beta Hat. The Beta Hat, also considered the Party Hat, is widely considered Club Penguin's rarest item. It was only available during a 2-hour window on September 21st, 2005. And since has become a relic of internet culture. The fact that it never released again and never returned as an item makes it feel more like a symbol than clothing, a badge of those who were in before the world arrived. Tipping the Iceberg. The Iceberg was the stuff of Club Penguin legends, a remote floating island in the northeast of the map. It was surrounded by rumor. What happens if we all stand on one side? Will it tip? For years, nothing happened, just speculation. But then, it tipped. During Club Penguin's final party, if specific conditions were met, penguins wearing hard hats, walking puffles, and dancing in blue, the iceberg would actually flip. It revealed a secret dance floor, free items, and a chilling message edged into the ice. Together, we can build an island, create a community, change the world, and even tip an iceberg. Waddle on. The truth is, no one knows how long this was in the game. Was it added late as a goodbye, or has it always been there, buried in the code, waiting to be discovered? Waddle on, real meaning. Waddle on, the slogan of the game, a phrase repeated at the login, at parties, and in the blog posts. A gentle, funny goodbye, but by the end, it meant something more, something final. The last thing players ever saw as the servers disconnected wasn't a loud bang or dramatic final. It was a simple phrase that hit harder than anyone expected. No other meaning, just a simple goodbye. The Cave Mine. Initially discovered during the cave exhibition, the cave mine quickly became a place where players gathered to dig coins. It seemed innocent, just another feature, but longtime players might remember something off. This room, for some reason, was often quiet, strangely quiet. You'd find players just sitting there, not chatting, just idle digging. It created a haunting contrast, an active game with a room that felt like more of a liminal space, abandoned, echoing, watching. Why the first penguins seemed weird. This is referring to early penguin chat models, the prototype penguins that came before Club Penguin launched. They looked off. Stiff animations, blank expressions, almost like masks. They lacked emotion or smoothness, giving them a robotic or uncanny vibe. To a child, it was harmless, but in hindsight, it's easy to see how unsettling those avatars were. These were penguins before personality, digital shells without souls. Penguin chat variants. Before Club Penguin fully formed, there were penguin chat variants, obscure spin offs with names like Goat Chat, Chibi Friends Chat, and Crab Chat. These were barely documented. Some existed for weeks, some maybe never went public. All of them were experiments, beta spaces for what would eventually become the Club Penguin we knew. But they had vulnerabilities. Players found ways to bypass moderation and abuse features. These spaces were wild, messy, and unsafe. They were the dark drafts of something that would later pretend to be safe. Swearing without bans. Club Penguin implemented filters to block inappropriate language. However, some players exploited character substitutions to bypass these filters, allowing them to swear without facing bans. While most instances were quickly addressed, such exploits highlighted vulnerabilities in the game's moderation system. Boiler Room Negative Aura. The Boiler Room in Club Penguin was often considered mysterious. Some players reported feeling a negative aura, while others enjoyed its ambience due to the muffled music from the nightclub. Perceptions of the room varied, with some finding it eerie and others loving its unique atmosphere. Club Penguin in the Vietnam War. This one sounds fake, but it's not what you think. An obscure 1985 anime called A Penguin's Memory began circulating in the Club Penguin forums. The visuals shockingly familiar, cartoon penguins who go to war. Viewers, including myself, were stunned by the uncanny resemblance to the Club Penguin's art style. Though there's no real connection, many assumed that the game was somehow inspired by the anime, or even a secret sequel. Whether coincidence or influence, it's unsettling. A game without dancing puffles and a war-torn cartoon about PTSD-stricken penguins somehow overlap. Club Penguin creepypastas. The rise of YouTube creepypastas brought with it a wave of fictional Club Penguin horror stories. Tales of masked murders, digital ghosts, hacked servers, stories that were never real but felt real enough to terrify a generation. There are no official files, no archives to back them up, but that didn't matter, because when you're young and exploring the game alone, and you heard about a killer penguin or a hidden red room, suddenly the cheerful snow-covered world felt cold in a very different way. Alien abduction. In 2015, a strange feature appeared. If you stood in a specific room during a specific event, a UFO would abduct your penguin. You'd vanish for a moment and returned wearing a tinfoil hat. It was real, it was official, and it was never explained. Why was this added? Was it just a gag, a parody, or something more? The fact that this alien event had no gameplay purpose, just a surreal one-time abduction, it was bizarre. For younger players, it felt like a lasting imprint. Not scary, not exciting, just strange. Lighthouse Ninja Shadows. Back in 2008, a strange visual bug began surfacing. Every few minutes in certain rooms, the town, HQ, ski hill, and plaza, dark, shadowy penguins would briefly jump into view before disappearing. They were never acknowledged in-game, no explanation, no warning. Some speculated these were early teasers for Cardjitsu. Others thought they were visual glitches. But when these shadows appeared at the lighthouse and ski lodge, even after Cardjitsu was released, It left behind an eerie imprint. Even though we now know it was tied to ninja lore, for a kid watching black shadows leap across the screen every 5 minutes, it was like being haunted. Spam bots. Spam bots, automated accounts known as spam bots, began appearing more frequently toward the end of Club Penguin's life. These weren't just harmless glitches, they were deliberate. Bots spam chat rooms with links, inappropriate messages, and disturbing imagery. Some advertised unsafe websites, others simply fed rooms with chaotic, offensive noise. What's disturbing isn't just that they existed, but that people were deliberately programming these bots for a game built for children. What kind of person does that? And most importantly, why? Even in modern Club Penguin clones, bot spam remains a plague, but the idea that someone somewhere wanted to inject filth into a digital playground for kids, it's hard to think about. Club Penguin protests. In 2016, following the US presidential election, players began logging into Club Penguin not to party or hang out, but to protest. It started with a tweet, then screenshots, then full-on demonstrations in town. Young kids, many under voting age, gathered in digital spaces, holding protests in one of the last places you'd expect, Club Penguin. There's something almost uncanny about seeing the political world bleeding into the virtual world made for dressing up and taking care of puffles. A children's game turned into a mirror of real-world unrest. And nobody expected it. Miniclip forums. Before Disney, Club Penguin was hosted by Miniclip, a flash game hub, and Miniclip had its own forums. Unlike the game, these forums were open to anyone. Older users, teenagers, adults, trolls. It didn't take long for a culture clash to happen. The safe Club Penguin world collided with the unfiltered internet. Spamming, raids, toxic behavior. It's hard to know how many kids were affected, but the thought that Club Penguin's official community was this exposed is deeply unsettling. Antique penguins. Before Disney, there was a time when Club Penguin existed in a fragile, simple form called the AS1 era. Some CPP servers tried to recreate this early Club Penguin in HTML5. Few players, broken features, but hidden inside these remakes were secrets, Easter eggs, cryptic messages, and abandoned rooms. Many loved it. Some were disturbed by how empty it felt, a living fossil of a game that used to be alive and now wasn't. Sony almost bought Club Penguin. Before Disney acquired Club Penguin in 2007, another name was in the running. Sony. It's not disturbing in the traditional sense, but it leaves a heavy what if. Would the game have lasted longer? Would moderation have improved or collapsed? Would we even be talking about Club Penguin today? One different decision and everything might have changed, but that timeline doesn't exist, and that's what makes it haunting. Club Penguin Times, issue number 566. March 23, 2017, the final issue of Club Penguin Times. This wasn't just a news update, it was a goodbye. In it, Antarctic says goodbye to the players and closes with a line that has haunted fans ever since. Our story isn't over yet, but it is. There were no more issues, no more lore, only shutdowns, legal action, and fan servers caught in copyright crossfire. Story ended, but the ghost kept typing. Tour Hat Undefined. In Club Penguin's action script code, undefined is a default value for uncleared variables. This often appeared as text or icons when data couldn't be loaded, leading to eerie glitches. For instance, undefined would sometimes appear in the buddy list or when giving a tour in an igloo, creating an unsettling experience for players. Now we slip under the surface, where things start to feel off. The stories are harder to confirm, the evidence fragmented. You'll start to feel it here, that unsettling feeling that something was never quite right. Welcome to Layer 2, Shallow Waters. Disturbing. Servers opening at specific times. This one sits in the uncanny space between fact and fiction. It's known that Club Penguin servers would go online and offline for scheduled maintenance, or to activate special events. But some players began reporting servers that would only appear at odd hours, midnight, 3 a.m. once a month, and vanish minutes later. No public announcement, no in-game explanation. Were they test servers, staging servers, bugs? Maybe. But those who accessed them reported strange glitches, no other players, incomplete rooms, UI elements out of place, whether intentional or not. These ghost servers felt wrong. Ghost membership. There's a strange phenomenon in Club Penguin's history that few remember or are willing to talk about. Some users claimed they had infinite memberships. Days would pass, and even though their billing had stopped, their penguin stayed a member. They could still access everything, but every time they logged in, all their clothing had vanished. They had to redress from scratch. One player even said their sister's account had the same bug, but their mother's credit card had no charges. The membership warning, it says your membership will expire tomorrow, but it never did. Was this a harmless glitch, a corrupted flag in the database, or was something else keeping those penguins online? This island is not real. No clear source exists for this phrase. No file, no events, no confirmed connection. But it feels familiar, like something you might have read on a pop-up before the screen went black. Some think it's metaphorical. Others believe it was a phrase buried in an ARG or used in creepypastas. But the fact that it echoes despite having no origin is what makes it terrifying. Dead penguins and puffles. This is referring to something called the dead puffle, reportedly a fan-made concept dating back to August 22nd, 2005. No official files support its existence, yet the idea persists in fan wikis and deep Iceberg posts. A puffle that cannot be obtained, that died before players even saw it, a creature never born, yet still remembered. Whether this originated from a creepypasta or a real test asset is unclear, but it taps into something primal, the concept of death in a world where no one was supposed to die. Evil puffles. This is about the rumored evil puffle. Unsettling clips depicting puffles with glowing red eyes attacking penguins or mutating into monsters. It's likely creepypasta, but the strange part is how convincing some videos became. Frames like real game footage layered with distorted music and sudden cuts. There's no real evidence any of this existed in game. But if you were a kid watching YouTube at 1 a.m. in 2012, you probably thought it did. I love CP. The acronym CP stands for Club Penguin, but it also has a known abbreviation for child. This dual meaning led to confusion and concern when players used the phrase like I love CP, especially when seen by other users unaware of the context. Discussions on forums reveal discomfort and awareness of the implications. 4chan raids. Users from 4chan organize raids in Club Penguin, such as flooding the coffee shop with the phrase "What bird can write underwater?" followed by "all ballpoint penguin." While some raids were harmless, others may have had more malicious intents, raising questions about the platform's vulnerability to coordinated disruptions. Happy Child. Happy Child refers to a player who was reportedly involved in harassing others. An email from Club Penguin warned users about the individual, suggesting they were a potential threat. The situation is murky, with some considering it as a creepypasta, but it highlights concerns about safety and moderation. Penger. Penger was a private server that launched in 2016, featuring no commands and no rules. It was set to post in the 2012 style and was offered custom parties and events. Despite its unique approach, the lack of moderation posed risks, potentially allowing inappropriate behavior to thrive unchecked. It never really came to be. Disney owning multiple Club Penguin private servers. After the original game shut down, dozens of Club Penguin private servers popped up across the web. Disney mostly ignored them until 2020. That year, they initiated a full legal takedown, including action against Club Penguin Rewritten, which was seized by London police after a criminal investigation. Disney technically owns all Club Penguin assets, meaning every Club Penguin private server is on borrowed time. They could shut it down at any moment. And yet, many still operate, like ghosts wearing Disney's skin. At this depth, the snow turns to sludge, the nostalgia turns cold. These aren't just myths or creepypastas anymore. Some of these really happened. Exploitation, manipulation, the magic of childhood used by people who never deserved access to it. Layer 3, Deep Water, really disturbing activity. Club Penguin faced significant issues with inappropriate behavior, including sexual exploitation and grooming. Such activities were prevalent in both the original and private servers, leading to the closure of platforms like Club Penguin Online. Moderation challenges made it difficult to maintain a safe environment for young users. Dord578. Dord578 was a user who reportedly solicited explicit images from underage girls between the ages of 10 and 13. Details about this individual are scarce, but the actions described are deeply concerning and highlight the need for vigilant moderation in online communities. Club Penguin lost media. There are reports of lost Club Penguin media, including an animated series that aired in Canada on Disney XD. The existence of such media has intrigued fans, leading to communities dedicated to uncovering all the missing pieces. Serial killers. There were rumors in the Club Penguin community about serial killers using the game to find victims. However, these claims appear to be hoaxes, as no real evidence supports them. It's important to approach such stories critically and rely on verified information, but we may never really know. Extinct humans. A creepypasta suggests that Club Penguin takes place in the year 3014, where penguins went to war with humans, leading to humanity's extinction. This narrative is fictional and a part of the game's lore, adding to a dark twist to the otherwise cheerful setting. I mean, who knows? Why is there no humans on the island? Like, you never will really know the true lore. Test01.brres. In the game Club Penguin Game Day for the Wii, a file named test01.brres contains an unused island with early water textures and various textures from the Wii's SDK. These assets were never used in game, and they appear eerie and has sparked discussions among fans. Luckily, they were never ever brought to the game. Club Penguin ads in adult magazines. There are speculations about Club Penguin advertisements appearing in adult magazines. However, no definitive evidence supports these claims. If true, it would be unsettling considering the game's target audience. Follow Me. Follow Me is a video released on July 19th, 2011 that has intrigued viewers. The video's content is minimal and its purpose remains unclear, adding to its mysterious nature. If you have any info on this, let me know down in the comments. Clubpenguin.exe. Clubpenguin.exe is a horror-themed fan game available on platforms like GameJolt and itch.io. In the game, a character named XX Killer Penguin XX hacks the Club Penguin server, transforming it into a house of terror where players must overcome challenges to avoid being banned. The creator describes it as probably the goriest game I ever made. Backroom.swf. Backroom.swf refers to a myth about hidden areas in Club Penguin, possibly linked to the backstage room that appeared during the Penguin Play Award. Discussions suggest that Backroom.swf might be a joke, referring to the backrooms, indicating it wasn't ever real. P666. P666 is a creepypasta story about a player named P666 who hacks Club Penguin and terrorizes other players. The protagonist encounters red penguins with ominous names, like the Slasher and Skullcracker, leading to a terrifying sequence of events. The narrative is intense and unsettling. This is the bottom, the deepest, most corrupted parts of the Club Penguin legacy. There is no sugarcoating that lives here. Cults, crimes, loss of innocence. Some of it was left behind by Disney. The rest was built by people who twisted nostalgia into something rotten. Welcome to the abyss. And if you made it this far, you already know that this island was never just a game. Layer 4, The Abyss. The darkest, most disturbing. 18 plus rooms. Some Club Penguin private servers included 18 plus rooms, literally spaces built to simulate adult interactions, sexual roleplay, and worse. But these servers were publicly available, no age verification, no filters. In other cases, predators used real Club Penguin to lure kids into locked igloos where they roleplay or exchange private messages. Some even organized parties around this behavior. Disney banned players when they caught it, but many incidents went unnoticed, hidden behind private walls. It's hard to think about, but this really happened. Club Penguin Online. Club Penguin Online CPO was a private server that gained popularity but was eventually shut down due to severe misconduct. The owner, Riley, was arrested on suspicion of possessing indecent images of children. Disney took legal action, issuing a DMCA takedown not only against CPO, but other private servers, including Club Penguin Rewritten. Disney emphasized that child safety is a top priority and condemned the unauthorized use of Club Penguin brand for malintent. Club Penguin private servers hacking you. There are no credible widespread reports of Club Penguin private servers hacking user data, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Private servers often ask for email logins. Some even install files to your device. And there are even scattered user reports of threats that go far beyond the game. One Reddit user shared a terrifying experience. Their Club Penguin account was hacked. The hacker found their email, then sent them nude photos of themselves when they were a child. No name, no demands, just a message. Let's meet. I love you. It's unclear if this was real, but the possibility alone that this game could be used to find, manipulate, or harm people is horrifying. Cults. The Recon Federation of Club Penguin, RFCP, was a fan-led community that developed into a cult-like environment. Allegations of sexual misconduct, grooming, and predatory behavior surfaced, with screenshots of inappropriate conversations involving minors and adult leaders. It's disgusting and real, and it's one of the darkest stains on Club Penguin's legacy.
Join the community and welcome the newest addition to the Disney family, Club